is a girl. Probably. As a Canadian, I'm allowed to tell you that.
As Canadian government, you can't release Canadian secrets.
Justin Bieber is actually the daughter of Anne Murray.
I don't know why that's funny, but it's really funny. It's extremely funny.
If we're related, I'm actually related to Anne Murray, so... Before you claim your lineage. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I wanted to know about the differences between, recording in a booth by yourself or with like other cast members there. Like, what are the benefits or disadvantages to doing just by yourself or with a big group?
I do a lot of both. The biggest advantage, the only advantage really, as far as, the sane world, is that when you're recording doing anime by yourself, you do not have to practice any form of personal hygiene whatsoever.
I can attest to this.
Yeah, nor do we wear pants, which is very... I personally, as much as I love anime, and the shows are better, the writing is... But just, from the point of view of going to work every day, being in a box by yourself, in a small padded room alone, screaming, getting paid for it. And watching, first of all, you were acting with somebody else's lips, which is strange. It's not as free, I will put it that way. And working on like a lot of the North American stuff that we do, you're dealing with the full cast, it's more like doing a ready play, and it's just, honestly, it's a lot more fun.
Yeah. And
you also get much more of a creative interchange. When you're having dialogues in anime, 99% of the time, you have no idea what the other person is saying. I'm always like, well, who's playing that? I don't know. Okay, sure, okay. Then it's always a me, you watch it, and you go, hey, it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And we put more time and effort into making the lip flaps work than they do in Japanese.
True.
Because in Japan, they animate it, and then they all stand around one mic and go, ooh, it's always the same three voices.
Yeah, true. They do that.
Yeah, and just, so I'm always going, it's like, you want to watch the original, the OJ for Fit? I'm like, no, we fit better. Because we try harder. But I personally have a lot more ball. Like, if anybody ever watched Reboot, they let us, nobody, ask them. Okay, two in the back. Remember Hack and Slash? Yeah. They would let Gary and I, or they would have Gary and I do the scripted version, and then they would just open both mics and just go crazy, and we would improv stuff. And they go, oh, and then do it again. They would, and they always use the stuff that was fun. So.
And I would answer the question as well, but everything he said is exactly what I'd say, so I'm not going to answer. That's exactly, he's hit on all the points, exactly what's true about group versus pre-layer dubbing. So, do you want to pick, Scott? Or do you want to play the flute?
It does look like a fiddle, is what that's called technically.
Amphir plays the magic.
If you go anywhere, I don't know if this is everywhere, but in Vancouver you go to the touristy spots, Granville Island and stuff, and there's always like Guatemalan pan flute players.
Yep.
And you think, are there any left in Guatemala?
Do you remember when South Park made fun of that? They made fun of the pan. There's a whole episode where they make fun of the pan. What episode is that, honey? Those pan flute ones? Do you remember the pan flute ones? Do you remember what episode? It's just good. What's it called?
The Starling.
Yeah, it's really good. They make fun of the pan flute players. So anyway,
I just think there's none left in Guatemala.
They moved to New York in the subway. Oh yes, we'll do. Yes, you, ma'am.
My question's for Scott. Do you have any information or thoughts on Inuyasha, the final act?
I know everything.
No.
I'm not allowed to, because if I told you they all die in it, oh jeez.
Wait, wow, that works.
Yeah, it's an OCarina.
Somebody goes outside and gets me a blade of grass, I can play a blade of grass. I swear I can.
You never do that.
I'll show you how to do it. Yes, I know.
I know how to do it, it just doesn't work for me.
I can show you how to do it. Better.
And I'm a bad Canadian.
I will
I
teach
can't
you.
do the loon call either.
Yes, right here. Yes.
For both of you guys, do you ever watch the stuff that you voice?
I voice stuff? In all honesty, very rarely, particularly with anime, usually the only part of these shows I ever see is the part where my character's mouth is moving. I have learned far more about anime from you guys than I have ever learned from myself. Whole career-wise, I've done 2 shows that I was... Beast Wars, if somebody must have. Wow, it's the first time Beast Wars. Insolent vermins. I just thought the writing on that and the animation at the time, it being all CG, I watched the, like I was a total spaz nerd. It was like Thursday, it's like, I gotta go and watch my show. I love the little rat, dude. And I've got a show out right now called League of Super Evil, which you should watch it, honestly, because I'm rarely, like, I can't stand watching my own stuff, but League is really funny. And they are the world's worst super, shut up, villains.
Hey, OCarina.
Yeah, so that one I've watched, and other than that, I actually don't watch TV at all. It cuts into my valuable Minecraft time.
It's funny that you. I don't like watching my own stuff either.
I don't think any actor does.
It's hard. It's really hard. Every once in a while, in a blue moon, I'll go, yeah, that's not bad. That guy's not bad. Oh, cool. And then most of the time, it's like, but every once in a while, so I just avoid it.
Yeah, I've run into myself in video games occasionally. And it's like, wow, I'm such a prick to kill. But if I kill me, then, well, I'm trying to kill me. Existentialist overload. Yes?
This question is for Scott, because I already had shown this in the last panel. What were your thoughts on returning to the DBZ series for Kai after doing the original dub so many years ago?
You know what? I'll give you a sincere, honest answer on that, if I may. Everybody set your phones on sincere. Because an act in sincerity is everything, and once you've learned to fake that, well, you've got it made. I was really happy, because honestly, you know, when we tend to crank a lot of this stuff out, and I'm not, this thing won't shut up. You know, it's not like we're going, what the hell? I mean, I care very much about every role that I do, and I put a lot into it, and we do. This is what we do. You know, there's a few directors that maybe they don't care so much, but, you know, but we never know what's going to come of the show, and we don't really get to see the whole flow and flavor of it. Especially, you know, and I don't know whether it's different, you know, specifically with DBZ, because you guys kind of came into it having to know it.
Right.
But, you know, so it's just another project that we were working on. Now, having a chance to go back and revisit it, I'm really excited because now I know a lot more about the, you know, the Dragon Ball universe and what it all means. So I'm enjoying the do-over of it. Plus, you know, I got 20 years more junk in the voice, so frankly, I think everything sounds a lot better. The only thing, and this is driving me crazy with the new producers, where is Piccolo from? So then he is a... The new guys seem to think that Namek is the proper pronunciation.
Yeah, did they watch the Japanese?
Well, no, I have no idea, but I'm going, dude, seriously, you're making a huge mistake. You know, there are 8 million episodes of this ×2 out there. You can't suddenly just go, You're like, who cares? Nobody knows who watches this stuff. It's like, you're making a mistake.
I had to do the fight the Kamehameha Battle versus Kamehameha with Barry.
Well, we did that too.
Yeah.
That was the big thing of, is it Kamehameha? And it's like, I remember.
Oh, little Kamehameha out there, just throw it out there.
Well, you think, you know, everybody figured it out. But anyway.
No.
Was that? Okay, Siri is listening to it.
Oh, Siri's?
Oh, no, seriously.
Well, did Siri just listen?
She recorded the whole
conversation. Would you like me to search the web for what, how, I need, very, feel, much, unrolled, really, I, Pilates, what can I do? It re-rectors the making of this, but I'll come up, but you continue.
No, honest to God, he's reading this verbatim.
But want to come of the show when we don't really see the whole flow, inflate special, and I don't know what to say, but I think we blew up Siri. But project work, really excited because,
There you go, hungry girl.
really excited because
That's just weird. Okay, sorry. Oh, now we're back to the OCarina.
that was funny.
Honest to God, it went on.
Yeah, it went like several paragraphs.
That was some weird stream of consciousness. She just completely psychologically unraveled right before our very eyes.
I really
Seriously.
enjoyed your battle.
I like the sparkles. I like the sparkles. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. I'm sorry, I can't look that up in Canada.
I get that a lot from her. Ask Siri to talk dirty to you. Just trust me. Do it.
I would like to bone you.
She's like, talk dirty to me. She's like, gravel, hummus, sand, humus. Because you know I love feathers that grow out of your hair.
How did you like, you sang the opening for Kai, right?
Yes, I did for the DVD, yeah.
And how did you like doing that? Because when I first heard it, I freaked out.
Oh, why did you freak out?
I knew that you were a music teacher or were in music before.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh my god, they let him do that, which is really cool. So.
You know, the story behind it and why I'm singing it, I really just can't repeat here. But I can say that my goal in singing it, I'm a baritone and the Japanese singer is a tenor, and I was really trying to kind of honor that and match that. They asked me to record it like the night before they were going to do it, and I recorded that in my apartment, in my home studio, and sent it to Sabbath and those guys, and it was really, I was thrilled. And then they came up with the idea, hey, let's just let a different actor sing for each volume. Some of them are awesome, some of them hilariously awesome, but not necessarily bad, just awesome to hear in a kind of a hilarious way. I'm not really mocking it, I think they're all very good, but she's like, oh, that's awesome, this guy's singing it, it sounds cool, you know, it's that kind of hilarious. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't so much thrill to the mashups, but that's me. I don't really like some mashups. I don't know why, but it feels very incestuous. I don't know.
You pick.
Who are we picking? Oh yeah, everybody's got their hands up. Let's see, robots. Yes, you with the shirt. Yes.
Question for Scott. I already asked you last
Yes,
time.
you did ask me.
Same question. How do you, two-part question actually, if possible.
Oh,
how
God.
do you come up with your voices, and do you have like a crazy story of how you came up with one?
I come up with my voices in very strange ways, and I'm known for having a pretty broad spectrum of people living inside my head. The one voice that people go, dude, just use your own voice. What does that sound like? I don't know. But there's other people that do Scott McNeil perfectly, so apparently they live in LA. You can take voices. I never like to think of it as I never like to look at things in terms of creating a voice. Like I teach as well, and one thing I really stress is that voice acting is not necessarily about being able to do 737,221 voices. If you can, bonus. But if you're making voices, you're making voices. You need to create characters. So I'll preface it with that. Like Mel Blanc, the greatest of all, never, even though my therapist tells me that rabbits don't talk, I know. You know, he imbued everything with such, it doesn't matter how absurd it is, you know. I did a show called Sushi Pack. I played a tiny little blob of crime-fighting wasabi who didn't speak. Still had to make it a character. But sounds and stuff, if you're talking just the mechanics of fiddling with your voice, I overheard you saying this earlier, you know, impressions, anything you can do to sort of expand. Voices live in different places.
Yeah.
I come up with all sorts of stuff when I'm driving, which is weird because I drive a convertible.
I used to do that. I don't drive anymore, and I actually feel like it
Don't
hurt.
look at the crazy man, honey. He's talking to himself because he's crazy. He's crazy and Jesus hates him.
It's like, I make more money being crazy doing this than you ever gonna make being you. But you know, I talk in terms a lot when I'm teaching about just taking, building a toolbox, if you will. So, you know, if you've got two voices, you know, I've got a low voice, you know, I got a really high voice. Cool, you got two voices. Now, you see something, you learn something, I'm always playing with it. And suddenly, like I always ask my ex-wife, it was always like, you go, oh, wait a minute, what was that? What was that? Don't let it go, it's fragile like a butterfly, found it.
Yep.
I found a place where something lives. Or, you know, you're watching something, you suddenly go, like, you know, I was watching Red Dwarf, and it was like, you know, all of a sudden I'm going, I've got a plan, man. I'm going to Fiji, so suddenly I've got this Manchester accent in my head. Well, you combine that in there, and now you don't have two voices, you've got four. Mm-hmm. You know, then you take something simple, like you say, you know, I'm going to give them a lateral lift. Well, now you don't have four, now you got eight. You know, and you can see how things start to expand exponentially. You know, a voice that lives here is not the same. I remember watching a Pesci film and going like, is it high and squeak? No, it's like, you know, all of a sudden you get that, you know, excuse me, what am I, a clown? And you go, hey, this voice lives in someplace different. I'm actually trying to track them down to the three like the primary voices. Mm-hmm. One of them I have, and it oddly enough ends up at Bing Crosby. Like Homer Simpson is a derivation of Bing.
I would agree with that, sure.
Yeah.
You can hear him living inside each other, sure.
Go home and beat the wife. And then I was doing something, and I go like, oh, stupid green, and he's saying grace here.
So the more things you can kind of, and honestly, I come up with it personally just by goofing around all the time.
Yeah, that's
you hear
playing
the
the
door
sandbox.
creak open, and it's something like, I remember Sue Blue telling me that, the sound of a creaking door. Boom, take that. She made this amazing witch voice out of it. And then the more junk you got in that tickle trunk, and then it's like music. There are 12 notes in music, basically in Western music, and yet they can be combined in an infinite way. 3 primary colors will give you every hue of the rainbow, and then some. Especially if you see colors like I see colors. After sniffing Sharpie fumes all day, I can see music. And it's orange.
Some people actually do. The synesthesia, yeah, actually do.